This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. When you visit the doctor, you probably hand over your insurance, your ID, and contact details. It's just one of the many places that has your personal info, and if any of them accidentally expose it, you could be at risk for identity theft. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second. If you become a victim, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year at lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply. This episode is brought to you by Progressive Commercial Insurance. Business owners, meet Progressive Insurance. They make it easy to get discounts on commercial auto insurance and find coverages to grow with your business. Quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliated and third-party insurers. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Bwaaa! Hello there. Welcome to Bwaaa, King of the Hill podcast. I'm Mike.
Wow, yeah, and I am Rusty, man. We got an episode for them today, Mike.
Yeah, well, welcome to That Ain't Right Friday, where we do more of a King of the Hill adjacent type stuff. But I think today is right on target.
Yeah, right on target. So as everybody knows, King of the Hill releases now in we're almost to less than a week away from King of the Hill.
That's nice.
For the new season. So on Sunday, is that what it is? Yep, it is. I actually would probably take off work that night, Mike, if you want to meet up at the studio and do something for the release. So they've released on Hulu now the descriptions for each episode. Right. They've also released a bunch of stuff. They got a whole Comic-Con event going on right now. So if you're in the San Diego area, they have a free King of the Hill thing that you can go check out. I was watching in the King of the Hill groups on Facebook today, everybody posting different things about it. There's a guy that had, at one point he had King of the Hill. He's somebody that I want to get on the show. He's actually affiliated with Fleischer Studios.
Yeah.
He does a lot of the 4K remastering and helping with that process for a lot of the old cartoons that they do. And he also had a license at one point to do King of the Hill, licensing from the production company or whoever owns the licensing for merch for them. And he used to do shirts and things like that for King of the Hill. Well, he posted, and I sent the picture to you. I texted it to you. Picture of King of the Hill figurines that are coming out too. So it looked like they were really articulated too. Like you could see in some of it where there's like articulation everywhere. So that'd be cool to get a hold of some of that. I actually, if you guys want to donate it, if not, I'm going to buy some for my collection anyway. But I want to get the King of the Hill Funko Pops. I want to try to get as much of the King of the Hill stuff as I can with all this new stuff coming out. Also, the Alamo beer. So the Alamo beer releases soon. Let me just look that up. So the Alamo beer,
I think it's
really soon.
I think it's going to be at HEB too.
Yeah, it's going to be at HEB. HEB is going to be the main seller. Yeah. In the state of Texas for sure. It's going to be like their number one place to get it. But I want to say, well, it just says coming soon on their page, but I was pretty sure there was an actual date for it. Well, either way, the beer company is a beer company out of San Antonio called Alamo Beer Company. Coincidentally, not because of
not the same
the
one.
Alamo. It's because it's based out of San Antonio. So,
yeah.
Like the Alamo beer in the show, this Alamo beer is also named after the Alamo, not named after each other kind of thing. So they have teamed up with King of the Hill and the powers that be. I guess Hulu is the one you would say. Disney, Hulu, yeah, all those guys. And that beer will be out soon. And when it does, we owe somebody a 6-pack. We owe that beer podcast guys a 6-pack whenever. I've got his address in my email. All right, so we'll get into it. Season 14, episode 1.
Okay.
Return of the King. So that's kind of, it's probably just going to be like a recap of everybody's
Gotta find out where everybody's at.
where everybody's at, the
Yep.
readjustment. So it says here, Hank and Peggy struggle to readjust to their old life. Bobby runs into a childhood friend in Dallas. So whatever that means. I want to say, based on some of the clips that we've seen, I want to say that Wasana song that he sees at the restaurant. I feel like that's who it probably is. Continuing, here we go. Season 14, episode 2, the beer story. So Hank and Bobby compete in a home beer brewing competition. And then Boomhauer bonds with Luke Jr. I imagine Luke Jr. is his stepson. I'm just going to guess. I don't know who Luke Jr. is. It's a character that's never been presented before. So he bonds with Luke Jr. over non-alcoholic beer. So maybe Luke Jr. is the black guy that we see standing in front in Hank's backyard. Maybe that's who that is. I don't know. That, again, that's all just speculation. We'll find out that soon enough. This episode to me is kind of funny. Bobby gets grilled, season 14, episode 3. So it says here, in his search for authentic Robata charcoal. So Bobby is not only a charcoal head, he is a aficionado with charcoal cooking, because he has Robata, which Robata cooking style is the flat open fireplace, like the Japanese cooking. So
we just got a Korean barbecue place here in town.
Yeah, we did, and a Brazilian steakhouse, I think.
Yeah, the Korean place, I can tell you, I went before my surgery. It was very, very good.
Oh, very good. Well, good, because I like Korean food. I've had authentic Korean food. My uncle, growing up, he's South Korean. He's dead now, but he had the spot right next to Jasper's, Lee's Drive-In. That was his burger joint forever. But they used to have events at their church, and it's a Korean church. He sponsored the church to be built, like he paid for the church's construction. Yeah, sure. And they would do big events like weddings or birthdays. They would do them there. So some of my family would have their birthday there or whatever, and we'd go to my uncle's birthday. And when you're at the Korean church, they give you headphones, and they have a guy that sits in a booth and translates what the pastor's saying in English, because it's a Korean service. Yeah. And then when you're done in the fellowship hall, it's all these older Korean ladies with the most authentic spread you could get, because most of them are like first generation. Yeah, in sure. their back then when I was young, they were like in their 50s or 60s. They're first generation.
Anytime I think of Korean church, I always think of that thing from The Office where they bought a van, but they didn't have time to take the lettering off the side. So every time they stop, somebody tries to get on the Korean church van.
Yeah. Well, on this description for season 14, episode 3, it says Bobby is accused of cultural appropriation of Japanese culture, I'd imagine. But he could say, well, my uncle is half Japanese. Yeah. So am I really appropriating the culture if he is kind of blessed it? Okay, so the Hills and the Gribbles go to the Bush Presidential Library where Dale incites an incident. So whatever that might be. Season 4
that to me sounds like an old episode. You know what I mean? Like that sounds like from the original. Yeah.
The tower at the college. Yeah. That thing. Yeah. Season 14, episode 4, chore money, chore problems. So in this episode, there's an app for handyman, and Hank joins the app where people could text and say, hey, Hank, bored. We need you to come do this or come do that.
Yeah, sure.
So he struggles to get a good rating. So he's doing everything. He wants a good rating so bad, so he's doing everything he can to get a good rating. And then Bobby learns that Connie is dating a mutual friend.
Yeah.
Is she dating Joseph? Is that what it ends up being?
I don't think so.
I guess we'll find out.
I think this is where the wokeness will creep its way in.
Well, no, I think that they will be. I think that they'll be dating at least for an episode, if nothing more than that one episode. And the reason why I think they'll be dating is because they're the two that stayed. Everybody else left town. Bobby left, but they might have stayed behind and went to Arlen Community College or something like that. Yeah. So they were just out of the only two that knew each other kind of thing that stayed back. Maybe they formed a bond through that. I don't know. I like to think it's not Connie.
Artie did quote one of my favorite lines, which is the ocean. Which ocean? No, lay ocean.
That is a pretty good one.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Alamo beer based on Lone Star beer, probably. Yeah, I would say that's probably
Maybe.
inspiration for it, maybe. But I really just want to say the Alamo itself, Alamo beer itself, just being in San Antonio near the Alamo, everything down in San Antonio is Alamo this, Alamo that, Alamo rental, Alamo dome, Alamo beer. So it's just a regional thing. It's the biggest thing San Antonio's got as far as historical relevance in the world. That's like the most historical thing. That's the center of San Antonio. Yeah,
it's pretty much the Alamo, the Spurs, and the Market.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's a pretty. The area down there is pretty. I mean, it's a pretty little town.
I love that city. I think it's a great city.
Yeah, I like it. They got a good burger joint down there. Big Boys.
Big Boys is good. I will fight you over that and say Chester's is better.
I've never had Chester's. Unfortunately, Chester's was never close enough to where I was at that I ever stopped there. But Big Boy was right next door to a wine place, and I had to wait like 30 minutes sometimes for the lady that owned it or whatever to get there. And I would get to there about 11:30. That's the only stop I had in San Antonio. So I'd go and order a burger. But what I liked about it is every month or so they change the shakes. They have like specialty shakes. Like one was like an Andy's mint shake, and
that's cool.
One was like a strawberry cheesecake. But it's not a solid menu item. It's like a limited time thing, and they just come out with them every so often. They have a new one. So that's kind of good. So let's go back.
Do not go to the Magic Time Machine in San Antonio.
No, don't do that.
You will be greatly disappointed.
Yeah, I heard it's not very good.
Ooh.
Okay, so New Ref in Town, season 14, episode 5. Hank secretly becomes a soccer referee. And in the thumbnail for the video, you could see Hank sitting in the stands, looking a little chubby, looking a little heavy. He looks a little heavy in this picture. And then you've got Boomhauer in the yellow with two black stripes down it, and he's in a soccer referee outfit. So Bobby goes to buy a car and leaves the dealership with more than he bargained for. So there's that's the A and B of that.
You don't think about that, all the stuff that we're going to see Bobby do for the first time.
Yeah, no. Oh, I was in a box. What do you do for work? Oh, biopharmaceutical manufacturing. That's a tongue twister. Say it 5 times fast. So what's the next one? Peggy's fade out.
Artie asked, isn't San Antonio known for all the silica in its dust? No, I don't know about that, Artie. I don't know.
That is what it's known for is a bunch of dudes from Tennessee and Arkansas kicking ass until they couldn't kick ass no more.
Yeah.
From what I understand. That whole story is pretty badass. John Wayne's got a great movie that talks a lot about it. If you want to watch that movie, that's probably one of the best movies about the Alamo. Is the Alamo with him in it? Honestly, I think John Wayne would be a King of the Hill fan.
They got kind of a cool theater in there too. You go in and you watch the history thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think John Wade would like King of the Hill, but I don't even think he would like it. It'd probably be goddamn liberals.
That's a callback from Hank.
Yeah, that is a callback. Yeah, I used to deliver wine in all over Texas. I was in a box, but that was my past profession. Okay, Peggy's fade out. Season 14, episode 6. Hank discovers that Bill's new coworkers think that Bill is married, while Bobby discovers Connie's boyfriend may be cheating on her. Peggy struggles with her self-identity after getting rejected from a teaching position or something like that, a teaching job. It's like ... It's like it's too long for the description. It won't let me click on it.
So for me, I was in a box, had a good point, said could be dating Chang. And that may be a thing as well, because I can see him cheating on her.
That's possible too, if he says mutual friend, but I just don't see Chang Wasana as a friend. I guess if they're defining him as a friend, but again, we did miss out on all the high school and junior high stuff. We only get them in 6th grade. We don't get them past that.
I think him and his dad are going to end up being part owner in that place that Bobby works.
That's potential too. I think so. So maybe we got a couple more episodes that kind of maybe might allude to it. What's the next one? Season 14, episode 7, Any Given Hill Day. Bobby tries to bond with Hank at the Dallas Cowboys fantasy camp, but Willow interferes. Peggy starts a lending library in an effort to bring the neighborhood together. So I think about the lending library thing. That phenomenon wasn't present during that time, which it is a cool thing. I really think it's a cool like project for Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, or just anybody that wants to do things like that to help try to like promote literacy, anything that promotes literacy I'm for, because 55% of Americans can own 55. That's like 170 million people in the United States cannot read above a sixth grade level. Or more than that. There's 330 million, and over half, 5% of over half cannot read above a sixth grade level. So anything that promotes literacy I'm for. Willow, the way this picture looks, and according to the vegan comment that we hear Peggy make in the clip that we've seen already, where she talks about, well, might as well just put a bowl of lettuce or a bowl of grass in front of her and let her eat that. So that's what I think Willow is his girlfriend that they're talking about, the vegan girlfriend, because the thumbnail is them at looks like the Cowboys stadium, and it's like a purple-haired girl with the side shaved, with her arm on Bobby's shoulder, and they're both wearing the same silver and blue Dallas Cowboy color. There's no logo or nothing like that. Sure. Color. It's like the Dallas Cowboy logo colors. So I think that's what that might entail there. I think that his girlfriend he takes with him might not be a big fan of football, and she probably just complains the whole time, and it just ruins the experience for both Bobby and Hank, maybe. Season 14, episode 8.
I'm not sure she's going to make it long term.
Yeah, maybe not. We'll see. I mean, this is episode 7, so she made it through 7 episodes.
Yeah.
Because the way they make it seem is like they're going to introduce her pretty early, but I don't know. We might not even hear about her until episode 7. The next one, though, is season 14, episode 8, Conscious Uncoupling. The Sufanusen phones throw a lavish anniversary party to hide a secret that only Hank knows. Bobby is stressed out catering the party while trying to help Connie. So this is my assumption here. In this little thumbnail picture, you could see what looks like a grown, maybe Chain was on a song, standing with Connie Jr.
Yeah.
And then next to them is on the right side in the thumbnail is Con and Min, and then on the other hand is Chain with Song's parents. So I'm thinking that conscious uncoupling, we've alluded to them not being together in leaks and stuff. So I'm thinking they're not together, and they're having this anniversary party because they've never told anybody they're not
trying
together.
To cover it up. Yeah.
But only Hank knows they're not together.
Yeah.
And it's to save face in front of people. You know how they are. They're
they
try to keep up with every, Tom, Dick, and Harry in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Keeping up with the Joneses. They're always trying to keep up. So maybe that's why they do it. And Bobby kind of probably knows, and he's trying to cater the party, and he's trying to, maybe comfort her in a way that maybe her boyfriend can't, because they were neighbors for so long and friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even if they're not together, they grew up like next door to each other for a lot of their lives at this point in the TV show. If you think about how much time has passed, they were neighbors through all of that up until they went to college, kind of thing. So the next episode, season 14, episode 9, No Hank Left Behind. Hank takes Good Hank. So we get to see Good Hank. We get to see a grown-up GH.
Wow.
To a men's camp to install good values, but the camp is not what Hank thought it would be. Peggy stays at Bobby's apartment after getting an MRI. So I don't know what any of that entails there, but we see Hank.
Here's my wish for that one episode, is that we get a flashback about how horrible Cotton was to him when he was growing up. And now he's going to have to try to replace that with good values rather than bad values. You know what I mean?
What if Good Hank didn't? What if we find out that he died before Good Hank was even old enough to get any value from him? And
that's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, this is a perfect opportunity to flashback to some scene we've never seen with Cotton treating Hank like garbage.
Maybe Hank Sr. I don't think he would. I think like if we have any flashback that pertains to good Hank, I think everything that he has with him is positive. I don't know. I just don't see him being.
I'm just saying
the same way to good Hank.
Hank is having.
Oh, Hank is having the flashback.
Hank's having the flashback, and he's like, I got to do something for GH so he grows up better or has better whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's
but
a great opportunity.
Takes good Hank to a men's camp. So are they insinuating that he's like a full? Is he 18 or is he like? Well, how old is he? That's what I'm curious about. Yeah,
he would be what, 17?
Depends on how far this show was back, because I think by the end of the show he was like 3 or 4, so he could be 18. Like so it's possible that he could be around 18 because he was a toddler by the show's end. I'm pretty sure.
Do you think he's as mean to Hank as his dad was?
No, I don't think so. I think they have a weird uncle nephew kind of vibe, bond going on. Like not necessarily like a brother thing, but he might feel more like an uncle to him kind of thing.
Do we get to see Dee Dee?
Yeah, I think Dee Dee will pop up. I don't see why not. Isn't that Ashley Gardner that does her voice? Maybe I don't know. Yeah. And the next one is.
It says GH is 12 years younger than Bobby, by the way.
If he's 12 years younger than Bobby, yeah, he might not be able to be that age then. Because, if Bobby's like 24, 25, that kid could be about 17, 18. We'll see. We'll find out. It says men's camp, so I'm assuming he's at least a teenager. You don't take, they used to call there was some Christian youth men. They used to call it youth men's conference or something, YC, or I don't know, something I used to go to. But it was just like teenagers and grown men that kind of went to it. It was like a men's retreat kind of thing. And now that I look at that and I look back at all that stuff, that shit is weird. That's so weird.
Think about there were a couple of things, right? There were those youth conferences. Yeah. And then when I was a teenager, there were these strong guys that would come in and rip phone books in half and tell you about Jesus.
That's crazy. We have that guy, that Hispanic guy that pops and locks.
Yeah.
What does he say? The armor of God, chest.
Yeah.
That guy or whatever, the Hispanic guy. He's awesome. Actually, Gio did something with him. He has like videos of Gio. Yeah. That guy that went viral. He was like popping and locking Jesus Christ. Season 14, episode 10, A Sounder Investment. And this is almost like a callback to that crazy episode with Trip Larson and the pig stuff. So Peggy and Hank's friends start a pig eradication business. Okay, now let me bring context to this. Anybody that doesn't know anything about Texas, in Central Texas specifically,
that should say hog.
It should probably say hog instead of pig.
Yeah.
You could say wild pig and be correct. Probably wild pig is probably more correct than hog, because a lot of these feral pigs that are out there were domesticated and were reintroduced to the wild and became wild pigs. Because you take a domesticated pig and you leave it in the wild long enough, and it will grow tusks. And that's not even generational. You take a domesticated pig right now and throw it with a bunch of wild pigs, and in a few years' time, it'll start to change. Like its snout will change, and it will start to get tusks and stuff like that. So there's like this feral thing in pigs that they adapt to that feral stuff really quick, because all they do is root. They're rooting animals.
Sure.
So when they rut up stuff and they do that and they produce, and they're really easy. Some animals struggle with the reproductive process, but they don't. It's real easy for pigs. Pigs, the only other animal I think that has sex for pleasure other than human beings. I think it's pigs and dolphins or something like that. You remember, what was that show, Mansers or something like that, where they would have like a weird question, and it was like on Spike TV back.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. One of them told me and my buddy at 17 years old that you could smoke nutmeg and hallucinate.
Sure.
So we smoked a bunch of nutmeg to see if we could hallucinate, and you can, but it's not what you think, and it's awful, and it's the most horrible thing in the world because you're literally poisoning yourself. But we didn't know that at the time. We were just watching TV. They were talking about smoking banana peels and stuff. Did not do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
But that's all of it. So it says Peggy and Hank's friends start a pig eradication business. Hank is hesitant to join them. Bobby and Connie struggle to bond as adults.
Well, that sounds kind of like a cliffhanger.
A cliffhanger foreshadow, yeah. They might not, they're not a couple in this season from everything that we could see just based on thumbnails, literally 2 thumbnails next to each other. Season 14, episode 7, and episode 8. One of them has Bobby with a girl, and the other one has Connie with what looks like probably Chain Wasana song. So, yeah.
Hey, Jake joined and asked what happened. I had a little neck surgery, so I had to wear this for another week. But that's it. Thanks for checking. Appreciate it.
That's what happens when you try to eat the beans out of the can without the spoon.
True. Hey, I don't think any of that kept me from wanting to see all 10 episodes as fast as I can.
No, I want to see all 10 episodes as quick as I can.
Yeah.
And again, if you, I need to know pretty quick so I can put the time in off. But if you want to do something that night, I could take that night off for sure, and we could do something.
When is it's on the 4th, right?
It's on the 3rd at 11 p.m. for us Central Time.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, and I'll come up to the studio if you want. We could just we could do a watch along or whatever you want to do. We could talk about it,
cool.
Whatever.
It'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for joining us. We appreciate it. Always like these Friday episodes because we get to say stuff, Jake says, thanks, Mike, for answering. Big fan of the podcast. Been watching the show and the podcast. Thanks, Jake. Appreciate it, man.
And if you're binge watching the podcast, I apologize. And me and Mike both apologize for any sound issues on any episodes that have sound issues. It is what it is. We we're an indie podcast. We're not, we're not iHeartMedia or nothing. So
yeah, but I'm saying always tell us because I'll figure it out.
Let us know. Let us know, and we'll figure it out. Well, there was one episode where something was wrong with the mics, and all it did was pick up our volume from the camera mic.
Yeah,
and somebody was complaining about that episode recently.
I'm sure it sounds terrible.
Yeah. Listen to it if you can. If you can't, maybe me and Mike might one day go back and redo the ones that are the worst that you guys want fixed or whatever. We'll just
Propane Man 9 says almost there. Yep.
Almost.
There.
We're almost in the twilight sound.
Well, I think what's funny is we're on the last episode of season 7, right?
We are. Yeah, we're like we're hanging on. Yeah.
So we can do that. Hardy says your sound's been good for 2 years.
Thanks, Hardy. Appreciate it. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these people are finding our show, Artie, and they're going back and they're watching stuff. I'm getting comments on stuff that I posted when I first started the YouTube page. So it's
a good thing. It's a good thing.
It's not a bad thing. No, it's a great thing because that's really what helps drive the channel. If people are going back and watching older stuff, it pushes everything to the algorithm. So, yeah, I really don't mind that.
But hey, thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for being here for a Friday. And I think that just leaves us one more thing to say.
Yeah, a big old Weema Tanya.
Weema Tanya indeed, guys. This has been a Rogue Media Network production.